Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. Today we are diving in with my top 5 mods you just have to use in your next playthrough. And I want to basically make this list very beginner friendly. These are going to be 5 mods that won't dramatically change all of Calradia so you can't even recognize it. These are 5 minor mods that do add so much exciting gameplay to the campaign itself, and I highly recommend you use. And again, I wanted this to be beginner friendly, so these are mods that are pretty simple to install, don't require tons of other mods to work, and you can just kind of stick into your module folder and get to work. I will be doing a install guide at the end of the video, so if you want to find out how to install any of the mods that I talk about in today's video, I'll stick that at the end. And please do make sure you go ahead and let me know in the comments and by dropping a like on the video if you want me to keep on doing these install guides at the end of the videos. They do obviously reduce the watch time of the video because people click off of them, but if we get the interaction down below in the comments and people dropping likes, I will 100% keep on doing these install guides, which I think a lot of you guys do find quite useful. So let's dive into it and look at the first mod I highly recommend you guys use. Okay, so the first mod I highly recommend that you guys use is going to be the Cultured Start mod. This mod allows you to create a bunch of different scenarios for the beginning of your campaign. Do you want to be a budding caravaneer with some mules, some money, and some trade goods to kickstart your trading adventure? Do you want to be a noble in exile, where you're actually at war with the faction of your culture and you have to start a new life for yourself elsewhere with a couple loyal troops and a decent clan rank and some companions? Or would you like to be a vassal of a leading faction with a castle 900 renown so you can just get stuck in and a bunch of troops at your beck and call? Well, this mod allows you to do it with a bunch of different scenarios, kind of think like Battle Brothers, where you can basically create your backstory right off the bat. It's an absolutely amazing mod, and I'll show you guys again. So for example, if I wanted to be a landed vassal for the Azurai, I picked the Azurai as my culture. These are obviously all specific to that. I can go ahead and do that, and then I can pick where I have my settlement. Do I want to be near the Azurai? Do I want to be in a caravan in a city? Or do I want to be on the ship? Like, basically you can decide so much, or you can start at your castle as well. So if I was to select this, and as you can see, because I chose the landed vassal, boom, and I am here. I have 15 troops. I am clan rank 2, and this, you know, I can basically just get stuck in right away, take some garrison men. I can have 72 soldiers right away. I've got some equipment, and I can just dive in. And this is one of many new starts with this mod. It's really cool. You can basically create your own scenario, and also you can go ahead and just set it to default. If you don't want to kind of use everything, you can just go ahead and pick to play as the vanilla. So there's no real restrictions if you're looking to start a new campaign, but I always recommend having this campaign on because it is extremely exciting, super fun, and yeah, again, you start off with a bunch of extra skill points and stuff so you can dive in and really level up your character and just start your journey as a, you know, landed vassal or whatever system that you do pick. Okay, so the next mod I highly recommend you guys use is going to be the absolute classic, the RTS camera. This mod basically allows you to zoom out, command your soldiers from a bird's eye view, and just have so much more control. Not only that, it also allows you to go ahead and control your soldiers after dying, and just, yeah, gives you so much more control over the battlefield, which I think is needed. I understand a lot of people don't necessarily like this mod because they prefer the old warband style, but basically, you know, the mod allows you to really kind of command these larger battles, have more influence over them, allows you to pause time, allows you to speed up time if you want to, and also, as I said, slow it down. It's just a really good mod I highly recommend you use. As well as that, if you press the L key whenever you have the mod installed, it will open up this and you can basically adjust all the aspects of the mod itself. You have the configure key, so you can basically go ahead and change what the buttons are. For example, I've changed the free camera, which is the camera that zooms you out like this, to one of my mouse keys, and I've done the speed up to one of my mouse keys as well, so I can just quite quickly dive in and kind of get through boring bits. And again, if I die, I'll charge in here Oh, I was going to say I'll charge in here and die, but we have already defeated the enemies with the might of the Azurai archers and the horse archers. But yeah, if I was to die, I will be able to control other units, which is really nice. You can also actually change teams and adjust this as well if you really want to have full control. I could also cheat and make myself invulnerable. Obviously, this stuff isn't really that useful, but there's loads of different stuff that you can mess around with. And it's just a great way of kind of commanding your soldiers mid-battle. You know, you're fighting a 1,000-man battle and you need to quickly go ahead and like pause the battle, tell your infantry to move up, get the archers to do this so they don't do anything stupid, get some cavalry into the exact position you want to, and it's just a really, really good mod. And yeah, it's one of my must-use is all time. I always make sure I have this one on because it is such a goddamn gem. Okay, so the next mod I highly recommend you use in your playthrough is going to be the Party Enhancer screen. This mod is an absolute gem. It goes ahead and basically organizes your party screen to no end, allowing you to really organize and see what type of troops you have at your disposal. It's something that I highly recommend you use, especially toward the mid to late game where you do have hundreds of soldiers you have to command, and it's kind of hard to see, you know, what kind of state your army is in. This mod basically allows you to completely sort it. So if you go ahead and click these building bricks right here, it'll bring up the screen and you'll have your active sorter and the available sorters. Basically, this is how you want to go ahead and diversify your army and how you want it to be represented. Right now I have the unit type comparer and the tier comparer on. This is basically going to go ahead and stick all the infantry together, all the archers together, and all the cavalry, and it's also going to ascend them in tiers. So right now I've got the tiers going from 1 to 6. However, if I want to, I can flip that very easily by clicking this button right here and then hitting the sort button, and then it will stick the cavalry. Sorry, that's actually the wrong one. It was that, and then that. Yeah, boom. I need to stick this one down, and then click sort, and then boom. Then I've got my infantry at the top, and all the highest tier units will go to the top of each of the selection. This unit type comparer as well is also sticking all the infantry together, all the archers together, all the cavalry together, and all the horse archers together. So again, it's a great way of just organizing. You can then go ahead and change the formations of your units. You can stick the if you wanted basically the name of your units. So maybe, for example, you want all the, I mean, they're all Azurai. So, but yeah, maybe you wanted to see all the Azurai and then the Empire. You can do that really quickly, and you can also stick the weight of which they do apply as well. You can do troop numbers here by clicking the troop number comparison. So you can stick the units with the most troops at the top and go down like so, and basically wherever you stick them is going to be a big thing. So for example, if I stuck them there, it should then stick all the infantry together. Because I've basically stuck the troop numbers at the bottom, it's going to do everything else first and then adjust for troop numbers, which again is kind of interesting, which probably doesn't work with the units with the tier. Yeah, it probably doesn't work with the tier, but if I then do it like that, and then you go boom, it works quite nicely. There are also plenty of other options as well that you can kind of toggle off and toggle on, so it gives you more abilities to to really adjust stuff to your heart's content. Leveling up is also a dream in this. So what you can do is, if you have multiple paths, you can go ahead and basically click control and click on a unit, and then that will automatically level it up. You can also go ahead and click upgrade all troops, and it will just upgrade them right away without having to go through each and every one like you normally do in Bannerlord and go, okay, I want to upgrade that, and then do this. You can basically just click one button and it will upgrade every troop you want, which is normally what you want to have happen. And as I said, yeah, I think it's actually control shift click, and then basically if there are multiple different types of upgrade paths, if you click control and then shift and click on a unit and then go to here and then click that, then it will realize that, okay, you want to have this unit over the other one. So when you click the upgrade all units, it will upgrade that. So as I said, must use mod. It's really useful, goes a long way, and it just makes your life so much easier. Again, I think every one of these mods I'm showing off today should just be in the game. So let's move on to number 4. So the next mod I highly recommend you use in your next playthrough is going to be the classic serve as a soldier. If you guys have never heard of this mod, it allows you to basically play as one soldier in an army. You basically are no longer leading your party across Calradia. You are just a simple man following a lord into battle for death or glory. And to do this, you're going to want to go ahead and talk to any lord on the map you want to join. Basically, you find the lord you want to follow and you dive into a conversation with them. Then you go mode that you'd like to discuss something, and then you say, I want to serve in your warband as a soldier, and then they'll say, yes, you're welcome to join. You will lose all the soldiers that you have beforehand, so if you have a lot of soldiers, maybe get rid of them beforehand or put them somewhere. I'm not sure there is anywhere to put them unless you're a landed lord, and you can't do this, but you will lose basically every soldier you have right off the bat, and then you will just be part of this guy's army. From this point, you will be leveling up slowly but surely. You can see your current experience right here, and you'll get experience from getting kills and wounding soldiers and completing objectives that your lord does set out. And then as you slowly progress through this experience train, you'll get unlocked to be able to play as more soldiers, and then you'll be given equipment from your lord. So your lord will outfit you with this equipment. As you saw before, I was in much better armor, and now the lord has given me this. Granted, you can go ahead and change it. If you just go to your inventory, I can stick my armor back on, and it's really up to the player to go ahead and do this. Again, in the early game, you're probably not going to have amazing armor. Obviously, I use the cultural start mod in this playthrough, so I'm a little bit further ahead. And you can basically give yourself new weapons and stuff if you want to, but it's all about the roleplay, right? So you can customize it as much as you want, and you'll have a bunch of different things to go ahead and do. You'll be able to go ahead and adjust kind of what battle commands you see in the battle. You'll be able to gain relationship with other lords. For example, if I serve onto Appis's army for a lengthy period of time, and whenever I fight battles, I gain relationships and experience, I will gain a reputation in the Western Empire. So if this lord was to die, then I would be able to join another lord, and I wouldn't be set back to tier 1. I'd be a tier 3 or tier 4 soldier, depending on how much I played and how much I worked my way through the ranks. So if I did end up dying, it wouldn't just be like, oh, you have to start again from stage 1 with that clan. No, I've already got some reputation with them, so I can basically be a much higher version of them. I can also level up certain stats as well. So for example, as I'm in this army, you don't want to kind of feel like you're falling behind. I can go ahead and ask that I want to go ahead and forage supplies. So now all of a sudden I'll be gaining daily passive riding experience because I'm out there foraging for supplies. And as you'll be able to see, my riding experience will be going up slowly through this. So again, this is a nice way of not falling behind on your stats, because you are only fighting in this. You're not going to be able to level up a ton of other stats whilst you're in this army. It's going to be mainly stuck on just your fighting abilities, so you can basically go ahead and level up a couple other stats, and you can change this as much as you want as well. As you progress through the ranks, you'll be given tasks to become a bodyguard. You'll get control of certain soldiers, and then eventually at tier 6 you can also then get landed by your selected faction. So if I get to the highest rank, I think it's something like 20,000 experience, the lord will be like, hey, come and meet me, or the king or the emperor will be like, come and meet me, and then he'll offer to give me some land. And it's just a great way of transitioning from the early game into the mid game. And I can also just abandon the party as well. I can be a deserter and run away from this faction, or I believe at tier 4 as well, I can also just leave if I want to at no extra cost. So it's a great way of going, and it's a really different playthrough because I'm not just commanding the armies. I'm just a simple soldier in the force. And I'll show you guys, for example, when we'll dive in here, I'm one soldier. I'm part of this army. I have no control over what the AI is doing. I'm just a man in this army, and I have to try and get kills. The more kills I get, the more experience I get. The quicker I level up, the better equipment, the more money I make. It's really fun. And there are also a lot of other events as well. So one of the big complaints, I think, in the early stages of this mod was like, sometimes the Bannerlord AI doesn't do a lot of stuff. It kind of sits around and it's just stupid, and it doesn't do much whatsoever. Whereas this mod adds in a bunch of separate events. So there's chances of being ambushed by bandits. There's chances of events when you go into cities to gain relations with lords in cities. And a lot of this mod does do is stuff to go ahead and make it so that you're not losing out on anything as you play through this campaign. You're not going to be losing out on relationship gain, or you're not going to be losing out on certain experience points that you would be getting elsewhere. So it basically tries to fill that void of, oh, well, if I do this, I'm just going to be weaker in the late game. No, you're not, and you're going to have a blast playing this. It's really, really fun, especially if you kind of combine it with RTS camera and a ton of other stuff. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Okay, so the next mod I highly recommend you use, or the final mod I highly highly recommend you use is the realistic battle mod. Now, this one is a little bit more on the advanced side of things because it does affect the battles pretty dramatically, but my god, are they so much better with this mod. What it does is it makes the AI believable, realistic. They defend more, they try and keep a more sturdy of a battle line, and I'll show you guys right here. Instead of the AI immediately just like kind of going berserk and running into the enemy like headless chickens, the AI plays way more defensive. They kind of backtrack a bit not to overextend, and as you can see, battle lines get formed so much more effectively in this. I mean, just look at it, like it's so much better. There's a bit more dense, and like soldiers step forward, they take a strike, and then they go back into formation. They don't try and like mindlessly go in and just like throw themselves at a stone wall with spikes on it. And it makes battles way better. You kind of get that sense of soldiers actually valuing their lives, which is way more exciting, especially in these big battles. It is, yeah, really, really awesome. And you also have this new system with regards to the posture system as well in realistic battle. So as you can see in the bottom right of my screen, I have a posture. And basically this means whenever I take a hit, let the AI hit me, you'll see that posture will go down. And if it goes down to 0, I'll get knocked over or I'll stumble backwards and basically give the AI a chance to get a free hit on me. And I will regain some posture. But again, you know, basically you don't want it to go down to 0 because it won't be good. But the AI also suffers from this as well, and you can break down the AI's posture. Yeah, for example, I'm going to get hit pretty hard here, and you'll see as I get down, I get stumbled, and then basically the AI can get a free hit on me or kind of like weaken me a little bit. Sometimes it's not always bad. If you perfect block, your posture goes up, so it kind of encourages you to actually pay attention to dueling and adds a little bit more flavor to combat itself. And especially when you kind of couple that with the AI being way more defensive, protecting itself, kind of keeping them shields up high, it just adds for a much more flavorful battle, and it's really, really exciting. You no longer have these AIs doing like ridiculously stupid stuff, kind of just like sword and shield down, just swinging mindlessly. You get more of a battle line, and it makes battles last longer, and yeah, just makes them really, really fun to go ahead and mess around with. And I think it adds so much to the game, especially if you're playing with like serve as a soldier or something else like that. It just adds so much more flavor to them battlefields, and I highly recommend you use realistic battle because with the posture system, it's just really good. Again, if you don't like the posture system, what you can do is go to the beginning of your main menu, go to this section right here, and you can just turn it off. If you don't like it, you can just turn it off right off the bat and just not worry about it. Keep the normal realistic battle on and have some fun. And again, if you don't like realistic battle, I'm pretty sure you can turn it off as well midway through a campaign. So again, if you're playing a campaign and you're like, I don't really like the realistic battle, you can just turn it off, and I don't think it causes any crashes whatsoever. So that's going to be it for the video. I'm going to go ahead and move over to the install guide right now. Again, please, if you are dropping off the video right now, do drop a like and a comment down below. It really helps out. Subscribe for more mod videos and let me know what mods maybe I missed or what mods you want to add. If you are sticking around for the install guide, again, please do drop a like and a comment. It massively helps out and will definitely keep me doing more of these install guides at the end of the video. Okay, now let's move into the install guide of the video. Basically, what you're going to want to do before you start any mod playthrough is to go ahead and make sure that you are up to date with the most vanilla version of the game. And to do that, you want to right click on your Bannerlord, go to properties, go to betas, and make sure you are on the current version. This is 1.71, and this mod list is for 1.71, so make sure you click that. And then you're also going to want to go ahead and verify your game integrity. This is a must for any new mod playthrough because it will basically run through your game and make sure you don't have any lingering files from any other mods that are sticking around that would cause you to crash or cause any issues. It's a great way because it basically just brings you back to that vanilla state game, and then you can go ahead and start your modding journey from there. Okay, so now that we've gone ahead and verified our game integrity, we are going to move on to actually downloading all the mods. You want to go ahead and open all the links down below in the description and make an account on Nexus Mods if you don't already have it. We're going to start off with the realistic battle mod because this mod also has the RTS camera that we want to use as well. So open the file, go to files on the little tab right here and find the version for 1.71. Keep in mind that you always have to make sure that you have the version of the mod for the version of Bannerlord that you are using. We are currently using 1.71, but for example, if the mod was to be for 1.75 and there was a 1.75 version of Bannerlord, you'd have to go ahead and grab that. Really easy to install it. All you have to do is go ahead and click manually install. It's going to tell you that you do need an additional file to make this work, which is absolutely fine. Don't get intimidated by it. Just control click on it. It will open up a new mod list, and all you have to do is go ahead and download it and just kind of read the 3-step tutorial for this one. You have to do this once, and you never have to do it again. So just go ahead and grab this. Really easy, simple. I'm not going to go ahead and explain it because it's super simple. It's a 3-step guide. Then to get RTS camera, again, you want to go down to the optional files. This is a section where the awesome people at Realistic Battle are basically updating a bunch of outdated mods. You're going to find RTS camera down here, and again, you're going to click manually download. Again, it's going to tell you to unlock your DLLs, and then you're going to click slow download because that's the free version, and it's just going to download the mod for you. Next is going to be the cultural start mod. Again, go to files. You're going to find the version for 1.71 and click manually download. It's going to tell you need a couple more files, Harmony and the mod config menu. Again, don't get intimidated, super easy to install. You're going to go ahead and click on them, control click on them, which will open up new files of them, and you're going to go ahead and manually download. And then the mod config, again, don't get intimidated by this. You're going to go ahead and find the one for 1.7.1, click manually download. It's going to tell you that you do need a couple more files. Don't worry about it, just download them. You already have Harmony, you just downloaded it just now. Get the Bannerlib and the UI extension. These 4 files, including the mod config, are going to be like your main backbone of making sure all your mods work. So you're going to need these anyway if you get a bit more confident with modding. So just download all of these again, just do the exact same thing that we just did, and it should be, it should be a blast. Then you're going to want to do the exact same thing for the party screen enhancer, find the 1.7 version, click manually download, have that downloaded. The last thing is the servers for soldiers, so just a little kind of tidbit right here. The current version is for 1.7.2, it doesn't say it, but this won't work on 1.7.1, so you're going to want to come down and find the version that is for the 2nd of February. This one does work for 1.7.1, and click manually download and get that installed. A great little bit of advice is always check the post section if you're having a bunch of crashes, because I found out right here that for everybody that is having a crash, if you play on 1.7.1, you need the Feb 2 version. So it's a great little kind of way of finding out if other people are having your crashes and if anyone's found a fix for it. But yeah, like that. Doesn't actually say it's 1.7.1, but this is the version you need if you're playing on that version of Bannerlords. Another thing I highly recommend you get and will make your life as a modder so much easier is also to grab the Banner mod launcher right here. I've been using this for I think over a year now, and it just makes life so much easier. Super easy to install. There's a 6-point guide right here. You can just follow this. You should be absolutely fine. You go to files, you click manually download, and just follow this 6-point guide, and it will make your life so much easier. It basically allows you to basically adjust all your mods way more effectively and see if there's any conflicts anywhere. You have all the mods installed. They should show up in your download file right here. I've only got 3 of them because it's the same thing for every single mod you're going to install, so this is just a little bit of an example, but you should have all the mods that I have linked down below in the description, along with all the ones that do pop up and say, oh, we're requiring this one, so make sure you have that. All you have to do to go ahead and install them is double click on them, open them in WinRAR 7-zip. Again, I'm not going to show you guys how to install that stuff because it's pretty common knowledge and you can just Google it or find an install guide online, and it will basically pop up with this. All you have to do is select every single mod that you have from each of the files, one at a time, and then just basically go ahead and find them. Then you're going to also go into your files and go to program files, Steam Maps, Common, Mountain Blade 2, Bannerlord. An easy way to actually find this is to go to your Mountain Blade Bannerlord, go to manage, and then go ahead and go browse local files. It will go ahead and open up a new screen of this, and it will basically take you right here. So it's basically a good way of just immediately diving to it. Then you want to go to your module folder, and then you want to basically go ahead and drop the mod from 7-zip into your file. Is asking me if I want to replace it because I already have the mods installed, but yours shouldn't show this. If yours does show this, I recommend probably exiting this, finding the file that is, and then just deleting it and then redropping it in. That way you have no layover from any older versions or anything, and it should just pop in and you'll be good. Do that for every one of the files I told you to install, along with the ones that the other mods prompted you to install. Just do the exact same thing and drop them in here. Besides the DLL, you probably shouldn't have to do that. You just need to kind of do the operation and then you're good with that. that. So if you are using my mod launcher again, but I highly recommend you go ahead and use, your game should look something like this, ignoring all these other mods that I have on. Basically just look for the ones that I have ticked on. You're going to want to basically go ahead and place Harmony, Butterlib, the UI extension, along with the mod section right here, and you're going to want to go ahead and basically drag them above native. You want them like this. If, for example, you kind of messed up and you put this one up here, the game will prompt you and say, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Actually, this mod depends on being below these ones. So again, it's basically telling me that the mod needs to be here because it needs to be below these ones, but above native. Again, if I stuck it down here, actually, it doesn't tell me that it needs to be above native. Maybe it's just Harmony that does, yeah. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, Harmony needs to be above these files. So you want to basically stick them. Harmony needs to be at the top, then you can basically stick these two here, and then the mod, and then these 5 mods. I don't think the load order matters how you load these, because they don't require anything. So you can basically stick these in any load order, but again, just copy mine just to be nice, safe, and secure. And you can just, again, turn these on by clicking the sword icon. Again, you can adjust them around, but you shouldn't need to. I always like to click save because this basically allows me to just load up the mod list really quickly. It'll basically keep these mods in the order I've selected them, and then go ahead and click play, and the game should just load, should work perfectly, and you should run into no issues if you followed this install guide. So that's going to be it for the end of the video. If you guys found this mod guide useful, or any of the mods that I talked about in this video useful, please do go ahead and drop a like and a comment down below. The watch time of these videos obviously dwindles as I go through the mod guide, because people who aren't necessarily interested in it will just go ahead and click off, so that does affect the rate at which this video gets out there to people. So if you did find this useful, you did make it to this point in the video, please do go ahead and drop a like and a comment down below. It really helps out, and it helps to kind of counterbalance the lack of engagement. Also, the increased engagement helps to counterbalance the lack of retention of people watching to this point in the video, and it really helps out. And I will basically only continue to do these mod videos if it gets a good response. So again, if you guys want to keep on seeing it, let me know in the comments down below. Drop a like, really helps out. Obviously, subscribe for more. Let me know if there's any mods I missed out on that you think are a necessity when you're starting a brand new campaign for Bannerlord, and I'll see you guys in the next one.